Hey guys, Jasper here and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about Visual Studio Code, probably the best code editor for web development. It's also what I personally use. So now, I want to teach you what I found useful through the years. In short, you're gonna learn how to use it like a pro. We will focus on three things: code editing intelligence, extensions, and learn useful keyboard shortcuts. Alright, let's get down to it. First, let's go and actually install this theme. Go to code.visualstudio.com and just click download. After the install appears, just click next and leave the settings to default. It's fine. Of course, I already have it installed. The initial page will look like this. Now, we will need to select a project folder. Project folders will be where all our files will be created by default. Being a web developer, let's create index.html. We are now ready to code our first HTML file. VS Code has something called Emmet installed by default. What this does is, it allows us to use shortcuts to create code. What does that mean? Let me show you. For example, to create an HTML skeleton, we just need to type an exclamation. Just look at that. Let's create a sample navigation for more examples. See how easy it is? Do you want to code already? Since Emmet uses a CSS-like syntax, we can add classes and IDs quickly. Multiple classes are also possible. Let's combine them together. We can also create a parent and child tag together with the use of the greater than symbol. Using the plus sign, however, will generate sibling tags. In many cases, we can skip typing tag names and Emmet will substitute it for you. The tag generated will depend on the context. I'll show you the 4 possible ways. First, typing only the class name will create a div. If the class is a child of an EM tag, it will create a span. Third, if it's a child of a UL tag, it will create a list item. And if it's a child of a table, it will create a TR, and the child of a TR will be a TD. We can also create dummy text using the lorem generator. Typing lorem will generate 30 dummy words. You can also control the number of dummy text. Of course, using lorem in combination with tags is allowed too. What if we want to use our own text instead? In that case, we will need to use curly braces. For example, p curly brace test will create a p tag with the word test inside. Next, let's create multiple tags. For example, multiple list items. We can do that by multiplication. In combination with the curly braces, we can even insert a counter by the dollar symbol. The dollar symbol can be used anywhere. For example, let's generate unique IDs and unique classes. Let's see what will happen if we use all these shortcuts together. Take a look at that. Alright, let's now create some CSS. Let's insert a link quickly by typing link and choosing CSS. Let's open the Explorer and create the CSS file. Now let's type some CSS. As you see, there is syntax highlighting and VS Code IntelliSense will show you context-specific options. Another interesting example of context-specific options is the font family. Shown are the common fonts supported by all major browsers. For colors, the standard CSS color names are available. If you want to add your own, in context preview colors is shown. Hovering on a color preview will launch the integrated color picker. Then, dragging the mouse allows you to select your desired color. Here's a handy tip. You can trigger between different color modes by clicking on the top of the picker. Okay, let's talk about extensions now. I'll just get rid of this. If you click on this button here, the one that looks like squares, you can view the extensions page. Here you can install extensions by typing on the search bar. The first extension we will use is the live server. This is for live reloading of our HTML page. After installation, there will be a button on the lower right portion called Go Live. This will create the local server for you. Once you edit and save your HTML file, Live Server will refresh the page and show you the results automatically. The second extension I use is called Better Comments. All it does is it adds color to your comments. For example, a normal comment is green, but if you type to do, it will turn orange, and an exclamation will turn it red. Speaking of colors, the last extension I'll install is a theme, just because looking at the same color all the time gets old. I'll just choose a random dark theme one. Okay, that's all for extensions. By the way, if you find the information I'm saying useful, please consider giving us a like. To continue, I'll now discuss keyboard shortcuts for faster editing. First will be comments. Ctrl/ will create a comment. One particular thing to note is when adding comments on JavaScript functions. Typing /** will create a JS-doc comment. Now, using Ctrl/ will comment out the whole line. If you want to add comment to the end of the line, you need to use Shift+Alt-A. Moving on, to quickly copy a line, don't use Ctrl C and Ctrl B. Instead, we can use Shift+Alt + up arrow. If we don't want to copy, but we want to move the whole line instead, we can use the Alt and arrow keys. Next, Ctrl Enter will open a new line below the current line. This is useful as just typing Enter will break the current line. To highlight the whole line, we can use Ctrl L. To delete the whole line, we can use Ctrl X. Ctrl and the left and right arrow will move the cursor wordwise. Sometimes, we want to change the tags. For example, we might have an H2 that we want to change to H3. We can use Ctrl D to quickly select the matching tags and edit them both quickly. Alright, let's now talk about keyboard shortcuts for navigation. To quickly open and close the Explorer sidebar, we can use Ctrl B. To navigate between the current open files, we can use Alt + number. We can also use Ctrl Tab to get a list of all open files. The editor has a navigation bar called Breadcrumbs. It allows you to quickly navigate between folders, files, and symbols. Clicking on the file will show the files of the current folder. Clicking on a tag will show you the tag and its siblings. You can even expand the tag and choose one of the elements to quickly go to its location. To go to a specific line of the file, we can use Ctrl G, then type the number, then hit Enter. Also, instead of hitting Enter, we can use Escape and go back to the current line. For example, Ctrl G, then let's say line 50, which will show us what is in that line, then hit Escape to go back to our current position. This is how we take a peek on another line. To go to the last edited position, we can type Ctrl K, then Ctrl Q. Notice the cursor jumps to line 28, which was where our last edit was made. Last, we can use Quick Open to open any file in the folder. We can type Ctrl P and then the greater than sign to show a list of all available commands. I mostly use these only as reference actually. Alright, that's quite a lot of shortcuts. But you don't have to memorize them all at once. Be patient, you will naturally pick it up slowly over time. Or, if you forget something, just use this video as reference and go back time to time. Thank you for watching, and if you find value in this tutorial, please consider subscribing. It really helps a lot. Till next time.